All right, so the full focus system only works if you're honest with yourself. So here's the tension I face, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been there. Too many competing priorities, too many good idea fairies, too many things that you want to do in a given year, and not enough time or often energy to actually accomplish it. This is a rough draft of my 2026 goals and priorities, and this is after I narrowed it down. I like the language Ali Abdaal uses, which is quarterly quests, but I had way more quests than I had quarters. And so like the whole principle is you move those secondary things to side quest status. So those are secondary goals for the year, and you have your 4 primary goals over the 4 quarters of the year. And I think this works really well with the full focus system. Here's just a few of the things that I'm trying to do this year. I'm trying to relaunch my Substack along with an audio podcast. I'm planning on running the Augusta Half Ironman. The end of this year is when the Geeky Stoics book comes out. I want to more clearly define my full focus coaching offer, get my first paid client. We're doing an in-person retreat for Geeky Stoics, increasing social media presence. My problem was a lot of these things didn't really clearly become a priority over the other. And so this whole idea of narrowing it to one quarterly quest, to one primary goal for the quarter, it just wasn't working for me. This is where the idea of goal setting, especially when you're using the full focus system, it's a bit of an art and a bit of a science. There isn't an exact prescriptive number of goals on purpose, so I found that this is what worked for me. And this came up in a conversation when I was on a live stream with Brian Brushwood of The Modern Rogue, and he mentioned this thing that I've heard before. It really was a light bulb moment, which is the best central goals are often the ones that will enable the other priorities and the other goals that you have in your life. And that's where I begin to really look and evaluate this list. I wanted to find a goal that could make the other goals possible. So that's what I did. I call it the Jocko plan. I wanted to find a daily operating rhythm, a habit goal that would enable the others. So I literally just wrote my ideal routine into the Smarter framework and gave it a fun name like the Jocko plan. So really the foundation actually begins in this room. This is like a secondary converted bedroom / office / Disney VHS collection. But also here is where I leave my phone every night no later than 6 p.m. That is the beginning of this habit. So this is a habit goal that begins with turning in my phone at 6 p.m. So that leaves my evening free for either focused work or, more importantly, time for recovery, decompression, and quality time with Savannah. That enables an alarm that I'm gonna set, not for the morning, but for the night before. It's very Alex Hermosi of me. But the idea is I set my alarm for 8 p.m. so that I can enable waking up at 4:30 a.m. the next morning. And that allows a nice chunk of time, several hours before I need to go to Maxwell Air Force Base for my day job as an SOS instructor. And so the whole point of this goal is honestly more about emotional energy than it is time. It's about both. I'm trying to carve out these chunks of time that are gonna enable all these other goals this year. What I found is that I was spending a lot of evenings where I would just get to the end of the day and I'm exhausted. So what do? I'm scrolling through Instagram Reels. And I know we all do it, and I know it's a normal thing, but I would just find myself like the precious few hours in the evening after I get home from work would just kind of disappear. And then it would be time for bed. Then it's like Groundhog Day, repeat the process. And I know I have more presence and more emotional energy when I disconnect in the evening. So I want that to be a habit in a kind of consistency that supports my training goals and supports my creative goals, because really all it's doing is carving out more time and more energy, and that's the goal. Is it aggressive? Yes. But the whole goal here is to be sustainably aggressive, because I am particularly ambitious because 2026 is probably going to be one of the most professionally and personally challenging years of my life. This is the year that I'm preparing to separate from the Air Force. I'll be going through the VA appointments, the transition assistance program. That's like a part-time job while teaching full-time, while prepping for a book launch and doing a half Ironman. It is a lot that I'm trying to cram into this year, but I think with the right management where each of these priorities has their season throughout the year so that they don't compete as much with each other, but they enable each other, that's the whole idea of what I'm trying to do here. Am I crazy? Is this going to work? Well, I guess you'll find out. So yes, this is a smarter goal, and this is the way I think of it in the full focus framework. Is it specific? You know whether your goal is specific or not. Did you accomplish it or not accomplish it? This routine is something that I can specifically follow 5 days a week for the first quarter, which by the way is what makes it measurable because I'm making it 5 out of 7 days per week. It's a pattern that I can follow, but there is a little margin built in, which I think makes this much more achievable. Because if I was trying to do this like militant Jocko plan all 7 days of the week, maybe that would make me a little more quote unquote productive. but it would be exhausting if I didn't have a little bit of buffer time on days when I'm not feeling well, on days when I need to get into work a little early. Like, I need that margin of those 1 or 2 days, maybe it's just the weekend, that I have permission, that 2 out of the 7 days per week, that I'm giving myself permission to not follow this exact protocol. When you're talking about a habit streak, I think that's what makes it so much more exciting, which is another element, which is, yes, it's aggressive, but it's also within the realm of something that you can stick to, that you have faith that you can continue the pattern. If you skip one day, you can always jump back on the horse. It is time bound. It is just for the first quarter. I'm going to kind of review and see how it works and reflect at the end of this quarter. Is it relevant? That's the whole point of this protocol, or the thing I'm calling the Jocko plan, is that that window of time and that increased energy is what's going to enable my other creative goals around writing, the podcast, Substack, these things that I'm building up throughout the year. I've already talked about exciting, so let's jump to risky. It's a little crazy. I kind of alluded to it, but this is the kind of goal that I love, because it's just ambitious enough that when you tell somebody this is what you're doing, they raise their eyebrows a little bit. And that's a good thing. Like, that's something that you want, especially for, more importantly, for the internally about the goal. It should be giving you that brief moment of pause where you're like, okay, we are actually getting after it. Your inner Alex Hormozy is awakened just a little bit, not too much, but enough to where you genuinely feel excited because you are taking risk. You're doing something outside of the norm. Like, I'm a natural early riser, but this is pretty early, and especially to try to be this consistent, it is outside of the realm of the way I normally operate. So the times in my life when I get up early is when I have something really exciting that I'm working on. And I have this whole laundry list of things that I want to accomplish this year, so that each week throughout this first quarter, as I'm working through these other secondary, as I call them, side quests, like, I have a reason to wake up that has me getting out of bed early and excited to get after it. And that should be your takeaway. Look for the one goal, the one discipline that's going to enable the other things that you want in your life. And it should probably be something that frees up and gives you time and energy. Like, those are the things that are most important. And that's the thing, like, if you're in a season where everything feels important and you're struggling to decide what actually deserves your energy, I've built something called the Life Focus Compass. So I've been using Full Focus for years. I'm a Full Focus certified pro, and I wanted to build an approach to their Life Focus program that in one session is gonna help you clarify your priorities and design goals that actually fit the life that you want. Because unfortunately, that's what I did wrong for many years. Even as a Full Focus nerd, using the planner, using the system, I would try to be more productive to serve other people and organizational priorities that didn't align with my own values, because I wasn't clear on my own values. And that's why I care so much about this stuff. And that's why this stuff matters in the first place. I've got a link below where you can fill out some information and we can chat. But that's gonna do it for now. I'm gonna be chronicling my experience here. We're gonna see how this whole Jocko plan goes. Hey, if you made it to this point in the video, I just hope it's been helpful, because that's why I make these things in the first place. May the force be with you, always.